we often look at the directivity. We talk about how important it is. Um, and then we also talk about how there's the transition region in the room, right? So if there's a mismatch and it's in the higher frequencies, typical of where the tweeter crosses over to the mid range, let's say, 1 point, 2 kilohertz, let's just say, for example, right? Okay, so you don't want a directivity mismatch there, right? Because we hear a lot of the direct sound in the room. Yeah. So that mismatch is very obvious. But what happens if there's a directivity mismatch at 200 hertz?
Yeah.
500. How much of an issue does that become without EQ and with EQ?
Yeah, I mean, I think it matters. I know that I've read where others say it doesn't matter, because you've got so many other bass problems, right? But I feel like if for no other reason, at least you have a good starting point, right? Like you have a better starting point to have good directivity. And I think anytime you hand off from one driver to another, you want smooth directivity, at least as well as you can possibly get it. Yeah, I just view it as like, why introduce more problems and just be like, it's all right, you know?
I guess what I'm saying is, let's say an issue with directivity would be probably an amplitude issue. Yeah. Something that you'd have to fix with like, okay, I got to boost this frequency in the bass more to make it level with the mid range and the higher frequencies, let's say, right? Typically, the issue and why directivity is so important is we can separate out the direct sound and the reflected sound. So you can't just boost and adjust the on axis and not affect the off axis.
Right.
But if it's below the transition region, does it even matter?
Yeah, I mean, so the argument is made that it doesn't matter. And I think maybe that stems from whether people are aware of it or not. In that region, most speakers are still somewhat omnidirectional, right? Like below 400 hertz, most bookshelves are still omnidirectional. They don't start to narrow up until like around 400, 500, 600 hertz for smaller bookshelf speakers and even tower speakers, with a more narrow baffle. So, I mean, maybe you can make the case that it doesn't matter as much there,